Hi there, Aquarius. How are you? It's me, Anissa from the Inner Stereo, and I'm back to with your August 2018 readings. So, as usual, this is going to be a relationship spread, and you could always apply it with anywho. It could be with your friends, family, colleagues, best friend, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, anywho. I'm basically just going to pick up your relationship energy in general, okay? So, as you may, I don't know, maybe you noticed or not, but I just changed my name from the Inner Bloom to the Inner Stereo, and I don't really have a definite reasoning for that. I think it was just like my Sagittarius impulse kicking in, and you know what? I think I'm going to change my name, and it just happened. So yeah, now I'm Inner Stereo. Okay. All right. So let's talk. What's your overall energy for the night? You guys have the Emperor card in reverse. We have the Moon card, and you also have the Ace of Pentacles. So you're not focusing so much on your money. You're focusing on your cutting. You're focusing on your dollar. With the Emperor card in reverse, for me, in my Japanese tarot, is the other deck that I use. The Emperor is being depicted, is being symbolized by the War card. So when the Emperor is in reverse, for me, it talks so much about that war aspect of the Emperor, if that makes sense. So you're being very, very overprotective. You are being called to be overprotective towards your heart, towards anyone around you because you feel threatened. With the Moon card here, okay, it means that right now you guys, the reason why you guys are being very, very overprotective, the reason why you guys are being so cautious with things, and you just wants to cause war with people, is because you feel like you are in a place where you don't know what the hell is going on around you, right? It's either it's either you're being suspicious of people manipulating you, it's either you're being suspicious of people who is trying to backstab you, it's either you're suspicious that you're being surrounded by lies. This type of feeling kind of like erupts the Emperor in reverse energy within you, and this is your overall energy to someone else's energy. All right, so let's see your challenge, Aquarius. First challenge, you have the Four of Swords. So you okay, so you want to stop thinking about it, but you just can't help thinking about it, if that makes sense, because you guys are air sign. You're the thinker. So when you want to stop thinking about it, you just can't stop thinking about it. And the Ten of Wands, as your overall challenge, you feel very, very burdened by this relationship. You feel like you're the only person who, if it's not you who do the job, then this relationship is not going to go anywhere. Okay, and you're feeling very, very overburdened. It only take you like one split second or just one tiny bit of a problem to make you guys like, you know what, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm done. Okay, so if you're a cross watcher watching this, beware, because Aquarius is kind of like fed up right now. So in the past, you have someone who is like the Two of Wands and the Eight of Swords. So this person feel like being in a relationship with you, they feel very, very mentally entrapped. However, though, you do have the power to create some sort of confidence in them. You have the power to make them feel all fired up again, up to the point that they're overconfident about it. You help them getting out of a period of depression, if that makes sense. So you were dealing with someone who was quite lost in the past, and you helped them find their light. And sometimes it could be a good thing or a bad thing, because if you help someone find their fire and they get all fired up in something, they get way too cocky and overconfident, and then they get to see the whole wide world as such a beautiful place to live in, and they're like, you know what, I think I can get someone else better than Aquarius, and which is silly because in Indonesia we call it kacang lupa pada kulitnya, meaning that the peanut forget the skin or the house that it lives in. You guys have the Eight of Cups here, so you don't feel very, very emotionally fulfilled in this relationship. You're trying to get away, but the Eight of Cups for me is like walking away more because you just want to, for a distraction, you're just looking at the stars and see like, when is my time to come? When is it going to come? All right, you do have like a lot of options coming into your life, a lot, but it seems to me you're focusing way much more on that emotional unfulfillment that you're feeling, that you're unable to see that thing, and you're unable to see like this beautiful offer that you do have offer, Aquarius. Like, even if you're single, you're not that single. You do have offer. You do have people who are kind of like throwing themselves at you, and you know that they like you. Okay? But what I love about it is that through heartbreaks, through the feeling of emotional unfulfillment, you guys find that creativity. You guys find that source of life, meaning that you guys, there's like an idea and an illumination that goes inside of your head about what you want to do with your life. And it's very, very creative. It's very, very Aquarius like that you guys wants to rebel out. And you're just like, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. So it's a good one. Go. Okay. Oops. So you're dealing with someone who thinks that the ball right now is in your court. They feel like they have invested so much in you that now it's time to see their return of investment, if that makes sense. So they're not going to do anything to you unless you give them a green light. There's like a lot of stalking going on here. If you were in a period of no contact in the past, there was like a lot of stalking going on. This person is still watching over you like a hawk. And I don't think you kind of like realize it, although you might realize it, but you don't realize the whole spectrum of the stalking that they do to you, if that makes sense. You might just catch them in one, but actually they did, wow. Excuse me, I was just recovering. Yep, they have the Seven of Pentacles, so they're now like in a period of waiting. It's like two people waiting for one another. And they're like exercising a lot of their patience with you. They still do feel like that really powerful connection between the both of you, but they're like waiting. So what are you going to do next? So again, as I said, the energy, your overall challenge, what's challenging you is that you're the only person who, if it wasn't for you, this relationship is going nowhere. And this person is doing exactly what your challenge is. What do you hate, basically? You want them to be proactive in this relationship, and they don't do that. Yeah, exactly. So you, it's like, you're like, you come at me, bro. And they're like, no, you come at me. They're more stubborn than you, though. So they have like this really, really tons of patience to not just like come at you and just roar. That makes sense. Okay. But you, on the other hand, you do still feel like a lot of passion towards them. You could be dealing with two people, though. It's always two people scenario sometimes coming up with Aquarius reading. But anyway, I'm going to talk if it's like a one-person scenario and then two people scenario, right? So, if it is like a one-person scenario, this relationship is, both of you are kind of like weighing things out a lot, okay? You guys are all in your head. Like right now, you're like kind of like overthinking. You're very, very cerebral at this very moment. And why are you guys cerebral? Is because you want to kind of like protect the King of Cups. So you do still have like a lot of feeling for them. Will I say it's one-sided? I would say so. Because this side, like all cups, this side, however, is not. So if you kind of like is waiting for them to come at you, they're exercising a lot of patience because they feel like the ball is in your court. They feel like now it's your turn. Sometimes they also feel like, you know what? I was just checking the horizon for a little bit. Now it's like I want to return, but I am kind of like waiting for a green light from Aquarius, if that makes sense, okay? If you're dealing with two people. In the past, you were waiting. You were feeling very, very, so you do have like a lot of options, and then you're kind of like waiting for someone who turns their back against you. But there was like a lot of stalking going on, I swear to God. On the other hand, you have like really, really deep emotions too. You felt the connection towards someone who is getting out of their period of depression. And in the now, you guys are much more emotionally available towards this person rather than the person who is being very, very passive aggressive towards you, who is being very passive, towards you, because they want you to come at them and you want them to come at you. So you have the Two of Pentacles, so it's a card of juggling. You know, in the past, if you're dealing with two people, the person that you felt like this now emotion connection with was actually lost in the past with you because they don't know where they stand. Okay, so although you do have that really, really great emotional overflowing thing, you like them so much, but they don't know where they stand with you, if that makes sense, okay? But they're still willing, they're still here, though, because they feel like you're worthy of it. They're still here exercising a lot of their patience. I think now they're much more convinced about where you stand with them. That's the two people scenario. Yeah. Nine of Cups. I think I know the next, but I'm just going to keep shuffling. Wait, it's too much. I like things when they come one by one. That's just my preference. If you're dealing with two people, be careful who you're entertaining. Be careful about who you are entertaining. See, Aquarius, at the bottom of your deck, you have the Hermit card, you have the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Three of Cups. So, you do have the tendency to go back to the past person, though, rather than the person who you now have like this really, really great emotional connection with, because you feel like this person is much more of your twin flame connection or soulmate or karmic one. Okay, so although you do like them, but I think the connection between you and the person who is the Nine of Cups, who only cares about their own emotional well-being, is bigger than the person who is kind of like exercising a lot of their patience with you, the person who actually wants to be with you, and they're okay. So in the future, I think you guys are the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, so they feel kind of like a little bit being played by you. If you're dealing with two people, okay? They feel kind of like a little bit played by you, and they're not willing to take that giant leap of faith with you. They're not willing to give this relationship a try, and you will be entertaining the person from the past who in the past was looking elsewhere, who is being very, very selfish, who is being very, very passive. So you do have the tendency to, you know, carry on the burden of the relationship again. Yep. The only thing that you need to be aware of is that the Nine of Cups is here from their side. The Nine of Cups, look at how smuggish this person looks. For real. The Nine of Cups is a tendency to only care about themselves. So I'm going to say that they do have like a little bit of narcissistic tendencies. They're quite selfish. In a relationship, you need to think of the collective happiness, right? Like a Ten of Cups. So my happiness, your happiness, and people surrounding us happiness. But this person cares much more about themselves. The Nine of Cups also have the tendency to test the water. So it's like someone who strings people along. Okay, I see you as an option. I see you as a potential. But I want to check the horizon first. I would like to check, you know, what's available for me first. And then, oh, nothing there is kind of like quite exciting, but I think I found few potential. So they're going to put this person as option 2. And then they see you kind of like checking out, and they're kind of like, hi, Aquarius. And there you go again. You have a lot of feelings for them. You do have a Three of Cups, so let's see advice here, Aquarius. Right. What is this? Right. Okay. Okay, so actually, this person that is actually very, very patient with you, who you actually have a feeling towards, you're very, very emotionally available to them, very emotionally receptive. You're in the midst of, you know what, I think I'm gonna get to know you. Like that is very, very spiritual. Which there's something about their spirituality or their morality or whatever who just doesn't match along with you. Okay, Aquarius are not a very judgmental people. I think this person is kind of like is a little bit judgmental, and you see something that is off. So it's either if they could have like a patriarchal view in a relationship, meaning that they want a submissive person, and it doesn't really hit you well. It rubs you off the wrong way. So yeah, and the past person who is like the Nine of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles, so it's going to happen again, the disappointment. Because it's very, very obvious. The feeling is you're feeling it much more than they feel for you, if that makes sense, Aquarius. Okay, with the person who is very, very patient with you, you could actually work it out if you could get them to change that, either spirituality point of view or morality point of view. There's just something very, very orthodox about them that you don't like. Okay, and if you can discuss it with them, it could actually work out. All right, so try to be, because you do have the tendency to be the Hermit card in reverse. Try to just be alone with yourself, confront your emotions. What is it that you want? What is it that you don't want? Are you willing to go back to a place that you have already being very, very, you're trying so hard to be protective of your emotions in the now, and just by simple hi, just by simple them being them that you like, you get this again. Okay, so it's up to you. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing your mid-August reading, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye bye.